in today's video, I'm going to share with you a 99% automated two-step cold email follow-up system that will help you sign more clients on repeat, right? Because if you ever send a cold email, then I'm 100% confident that this has happened to you at least once. Prospect responded with interest. You replied back to book a call, but they've gone ghost. So most people here will think that prospect is no longer interested and call today. And that's the main reason why they will make no money. Because the truth is, most likely they're still interested, but they either forgot to get back to you, they got distracted with other tasks inside their business, or they got distracted with other things going on inside their personal life, right? So it's your duty as a person doing the outreach to consistently follow up with them until they book a call or tell you to fuck off. Like that's the literally how it goes, right? And most people follow up sucks because their sequence has no structure and provides literally zero value. So our process has two parts. The one is reminder sequence, which is about like 10% of the total uh, system. And there's another value sequence, which holds about like 90% of the total system, right? And in this document, I'll show you how you can build this follow-up structure that will, sorry, that will last for at least 3 months and build your authority in the prospect's eyes in the meantime so that you can schedule more calls without losing your leads through the cracks and close deals much more easily. So, first thing I'll break down here is the reminder sequence. So, before you go and write your follow ups, you need to create a clear structure for it. Okay, they should be in a chronological order that makes sense for the prospect. That's why your first two follow ups should act as a simple reminders because, as I've already mentioned, people sometimes like genuinely forget to book a call with you, and most of our booked calls usually comes from this part. And here's what it looks like. So when the prospect responds with an interest, the initial message you send to the prospect is the manual reply, obviously, right? But if they don't book a call right there, 3 days later, you want to follow up with a simple nudge. So here you give the prospect a simple reminder in case they missed your message or forgot to book a call. And most of the times, this works pretty well for us and our clients. But if they still don't reply, then 4 days later, you want to ask for a reference. So you ask the prospect whether there's another contact in the company you should reach out to. So they will be either like, yeah, you should reach out to John and like head of marketing, or they will be like, no, you can speak with me, okay, and book a call. But if they still don't respond to any of these emails, they're either not interested or they're just not ready right now. Okay, so sending them emails like, hey, just bumping this up will simply not work. And that's when you push the prospect into a long term follow up sequence. But before I break that down for you as well, I want to share you an example where it took us 11 emails back and forth to book a prospect for one of our clients that they have closed after. So here's how it went. So we got the first initial reply on the 19th of February. So we were offering the prospects like 5-minute videos breaking down their marketing strategy. So she was like, okay, cool, send it to me. So we got back to her, sent her the video, and asked to book a call. So she didn't reply. Then we just got back to her with a simple nudge, right? So she got back to us. I have not completed the video yet, but how about we discuss this early next week? So we were like, cool. We suggested her like two specific times from our calendar and also include a link so she could book from her side, but she did not. So we had to follow up once again. Once again, just simple reminder. She was like, okay, I'll pick a time today. We were like, okay, cool, sounds cool. But she still did not book a call. So we were like, hey, have you had a chance to pick a suitable time? And she was like, okay, how about tomorrow, like Tuesday, March 5th, right? So we were like, okay, that sounds good. So we booked her in manually to avoid like any other mismatches later on. Now, the reason here why we did not push her to the long-term value sequence was because she has not ghosted us. She was responsive, but I mean, she's a business owner, right? Things get busy. So we had to kind of keep following up with her to make sure that she booked a call, which eventually worked, right? But there will be the cases where the prospect will not be this responsive. They will go like complete ghost. So that's when you push them to the value sequence. And that's what I'm going to break to you right now. So, as I've already mentioned in the previous section, if they do not book a call in a sequence, that means they're either not interested or are not ready yet. Okay. But they might be 2 months later. So, yet is the keyword here. Your goal is to stay on top of the prospect's mind. So, whenever they are ready to solve that problem, you are the first person they think of. Okay. And I guarantee that if you book a call through these long term follow up sequences, closing the deal, which will be much more easier than if they would have booked a call right away. Because, well, sometimes the prospect is kind of, okay, let's jump on a call, but they're not nurtured, they're not ready. So eventually you just speak with them and it does not lead anywhere, right? So the last thing you want to be doing in the long term is sending emails which hold no value. So the whole purpose of these follow-ups is to provide the prospect with relevant information to make them confident in your ability to deliver what you are promising them. So you will not book a call at this stage with half-assed emails that I mentioned like above. So even more, they will annoy the prospect and they will mark you as spam. So that's why in this sequence, you must share stuff that builds trust, shows expertise, and makes the prospect familiar with your methodology. So I have built like a pyramid here to show you like what type of content you should send to the prospect. So the most important ones are case studies, lead magnets, and testimonials. Then there are like videos you might post on like YouTube or like Loom videos you might record, and also the content you might write on, let's say, Twitter, LinkedIn, like wherever you write the content. And the third one is in memes. So actually, I did not think that this would work, but this works pretty well because, humor sells. And obviously, it will not apply to every single niche, but if you believe that your ideal prospect is kind of responsive to the memes and has a sense of humor, then sending them relevant memes might work even better than case studies or video content. Like, that's the way it works. And spacing here is you will not be following up as frequently as you would in a reminder sequence because you don't want to come across as spammy or needy. So you start following up with small increments and slowly grow it. And here's what it should look like after your reminder sequence ends. So, for example, when you ask for a reference and they still not reply to you, that's when you already start following up with a value sequence. So, 5 days after asking for reference, you send a case study of a client in a similar industry. Then 5 days later, you ask them if they have seen the case study. If they still not reply, you send them a meme 7 days later. Then you can send them like lead magnet. So for example, you record like 5 minute video breaking down, like for example, if you do website design, whatever, you might just analyze the website and point out things that they might change to improve their conversions or like book more calls, whatever. If they still not reply, 10 days later, you send them a couple of screenshots of what your clients say about you. 15 days later, you send them YouTube or a Loom video. So kind of educate the prospect, give them information that will be useful to the prospect. So like Loom and lead magnet here is kind of this not similar. You can send a lot of different things and as a lead magnet, right? But once again, if they don't reply here, you send them a relevant LinkedIn post or like let's say Twitter post, whatever, that showcases your expertise. And if they still don't reply, like 20 days later, you share the recent win that your client got while working with you. So as you can see, this sequence alone is around like 100 days long, right? And you can make it even longer if you have enough valuable content to back it up, right? You can also resend a similar type of content. So for example, if you send over the company X case study, like 1 month later, or let's say like 2, 3 months later, you can send the company Y case study, right? And that goes for all the assets I mentioned above. So chop it up, mix humor, mix value, and like make your sequence something that prospect cannot screenshot and put on their social media with a "this is your competition" caption, right? So your stuff actually has to be useful and entertaining. And as you can see, like with this simple formula, you can follow up with the prospects till infinity. Like, I don't know where this is like, zoomed out, but whatever. So here's the high level overview. So of the total things that we do here. And you should keep going once again until they book a call or tell you to screw off. And keep in mind that your sequence does not have to be like 100% automated. That's why I said it's kind of 99%. So, for example, if they post something on LinkedIn and you believe you can use them in your follow ups, you can add a manual action inside your email software. So, you can use tools like Smartly or Instantly to automate the entire follow up process and plus include some personalized manual touch points in between, right? So, like, this is literally everything you need to make sure none of your leads slip through the cracks and you keep nurturing them even if they have not booked a call yet. So, whenever they are ready, whenever they believe you can help them, they're going to book a call with you and it will be much more easier for you to close a deal, right? And if you want us to like do this on your behalf, so that you can focus on other important tasks of your business while generating consistent high quality meetings and only paying for the cost to show up without any retainers or long-term contracts, then you should could, book a call below. I include the link to our website. But still, if you decide to like do this yourself, then I would appreciate you subscribing, liking, or commenting to this video. And yeah, that's it. I wish you a great day and hope you keep crushing it. Peace.